All right, AOA podcast back for another episode. Frankie C in the house.
What's happening?
Here's what's going on. Ghislaine Maxwell's teaching etiquette classes in prison.
What?
Prince Harry's book came out. We have a bunch of shocking revelations.
Oh,
We just lost Jeff Beck.
that's a shock. That was a shocker. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, very sad. Legendary guitarist Jeff Beck. We'll talk about him momentarily. George Santos getting some pressure from the Long Island GOP to resign. Rachel Ray might lose her show. WWE Rumors.
What?
And so much more. All on this episode, Frankie C. How about that?
Sounds good. Are we joining the WWE?
That would be wonderful.
Right?
That would be a dream come true, I think.
Get our asses kicked.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
That's worth it.
I can get beat up by somebody. I think that would be good.
Throwing around a ring. What the hell?
Aches and pains and falling, that's basically what my 40s have been so far. So
Yeah, you pop a couple Advil or leave or something, and you're good to go.
All right, Ghislaine Maxwell in Nothing Matters. The file this in Nothing Matters anymore. It doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Teaching and hosting etiquette classes for inmates where she is serving time down in Tallahassee, Florida. She has been preaching about women's empowerment.
Women's empowerment.
Talking about maintaining high moral standards.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Hosting classes twice a week, up to 40 minutes. The course teaches 3 principles of etiquette focusing on respect, consideration, and honesty. It's funny, trafficking is not in there. I thought that would
that's not a subject. That would be covered, I guess.
Sources tell the Daily Mail that the 4-week program covers having good manners, how to talk, dress, and carry yourself in a job interview.
Oh, because how many job interviews has she been on, you think? Maybe just the one? I don't know.
Excuse me, Professor. Say I'm in an interview and they ask me if I ever trafficked women. How would you answer that?
I mean, you want to be truthful, but
yeah.
I mean, that's not really something you list on a resume.
Say you have a great resume, but your rap sheet, on the other hand, is a problem. How would you approach?
If I could fit it all on one sheet, resume and rap sheet, or 2-sided, what do I do there?
Yeah. Yeah, she's preaching about women's empowerment. She's
sure. Got to empower those women, or traffic them is probably her other class that she teaches.
Professor, by empowerment, do you mean traffic? Because I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I think you're mixing up your verbs there.
Do you know what empowerment means?
What the hell?
We have to empower women to give massages to billionaires. Now, Everybody open up page 3.
With their boobs hanging out.
Yeah.
That's class number 1. You put that big picture up and you go, this is the opposite of empowering, just so you're aware. I did this for this moment.
That would be like having George Santos teach an ethics course. I mean, at this point...
What the hell? Might as well.
We might as well just go on and do whatever the hell we want.
Nothing matters.
Yeah. Also, I want to say this. There is no truth to the rumor that this is an accredited course from Trump University. That's been investigated.
Is that debunked?
And been debunked, yes.
All right.
Yeah. Because, again, there's anybody who shouldn't be running a university.
Trumpy. I mean, I can't imagine. What is she teaching? Like what? I guess, yeah, but how is that even? Who's taking the class seriously and going, yeah, this is. I bet people are taking the class going, this is probably going to be hilarious.
Yeah, probably, right? They're all there for the goof.
The goof, because it's like, why am I listening to you?
But was there no? I mean, I don't know who approves prisoner-led classes in prison.
Warden, I hope.
Probably the warden, right? Did the warden not go? Why don't we try knitting?
Can we put a class on irony next door, or right across the hall?
Right.
So you should be caught up on one or the other, I guess.
Yeah, it feels disingenuous, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
that's ridiculous.
I don't know.
Yeah, why? Because she's British? Is that
Well, I was just gonna say that. Like, I think they probably, here comes this young lady. She speaks with a British accent. She's like, I want to teach an etiquette class. They were like, all right, I guess so.
she must know how to drink with your pinky up?
We're not
Is
gonna
that?
let Maybell from Tennessee do it, so we might as well give it to Ghislaine, I
I
guess.
mean, women empowerment. That's the laughable friggin' thing that she's teaching.
Let me ask you a question.
How does she get away with that?
What's more classy, Ghislaine or Ghislaine? Because that's the two pronunciations of her name. You think she rolled in there and was like, everybody, I want you to call me Ghislaine, as
I mean,
I.
she wrote it on the board, and everybody like laughed at it. And
Yeah.
the correct pronunciation. That is ridiculous.
How to carry yourself in a job interview. You made a good point. Like, how many? I don't think she's ever been on a job interview.
Right? I mean, she's however old she is. She was with Epstein since what, the 90s? Or
Yeah. She went from her dad to like Epstein. That's not really.
and then after she left Epstein, she was a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? She worked? Where does she work after? She didn't work.
She didn't work ever.
So what are we doing here? What's happening here?
If the person you're interviewing with asks if you can keep a secret, you say yes. Class
See?
dismissed.
Boom.
Tomorrow we'll work on international passports.
Right.
So good for Ghislaine. I'm happy that she's got a good old big career going there.
Oh, God.
Prince Harry, Frankie C. I didn't think I would care as much about Prince Harry post Netflix balmy, awful documentary, but I do.
Okay.
He took up a considerable amount of time on the podcast here on Monday. It was a great episode. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to it, go back and listen to it. His book came out yesterday, and now we have some of the revelations around the book, more so than we even talked about on Monday's podcast, which I kind of find interesting.
What did you discover?
The memoir, by the way, is called Spare. It's available everywhere.
So he's aware of that nickname.
Yes.
We're not saying this isn't a nickname we all made up behind his back.
Right, correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't just go off and call it Spare Tire, because that's what I like to call him behind his back when he's not around. I go, did Spare Tire call? Because I don't have time for him today.
It's a little more creative, I guess.
That's by the way, that is what most of the royal families say every day. They go, Spare Tire around? What's he up to today?
Is that what they say?
Yeah, I think they call him Spare Tire.
It's messed up.
It is, but it's
I think they call him that because when they went to the drive-in, he hid in the trunk because they didn't want to pay the extra fee.
There you go.
Or is that my life?
All right, a couple things we learned, and I find this sad. He and his brother begged his father not to marry Camilla.
Wow.
Yeah. They pleaded, they wanted to support him. They were happy to have Camilla around, but they just didn't want him to marry her.
Do we know why?
Well, he cheated on, I don't know, for those who don't know the story, he cheated on Diana with Camilla, right?
Okay, but they supported her, they liked having her around, but not marry her?
Yeah, because I think they kind of felt like, keep the memory of mom, you did this awful thing, you got divorced, which was a no in the royal family to begin with, so there's two things right off the bat you're being a douchebag for, and maybe just don't get married. And they both begged him.
So they begged him. It's not just about marrying her, it was about don't get married, period. Ever again?
Well, I think maybe don't marry her, because I think Charles was like, this is my girl, I'm going to be with her forever. And they were like, all right, well, but that's also the thing that broke up your relationship with our mother, which then drove her away from the royal family, which eventually put her in a car, which eventually killed her. So maybe don't add insult to injury, put salt on the wound by marrying this woman.
I mean, it's a little okay.
I mean, that's not horrible. I don't think that's a horrible thing. But it breaks my heart to read that, because, I mean, him and his brother, had like a bond, and they went through a tragic, awful thing,
Of course. Absolutely. No, I get that.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling for Prince Harry these last couple of days. I don't know what. Maybe I'm going through some stuff, Frank. I'm not sure, but everything I'm reading, I'm like, I feel bad for him. You
And what
know.
else? What else was in there that
All right.
tugged at your heartstrings?
Yeah, there was. We talked about the leaks from the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a lot of those. Um, he says that Charles and sometimes Camilla were approving damaging press leaks about Harry and William. On one occasion, Harry writes, Charles, advised by a spin doctor, cooperated with the tabloids on a story about Harry and drugs to bolster his own faltering reputation. No more the unfaithful husband, Pa would now be presenting to the world as he harried single dad coping with a drug addled child, says the book. Much later in 2019, Harry writes William was seething because Pa and Camilla's people had planted a story or stories about him and Kate and the kids, and he wasn't going to take it anymore. Give Pa and Camilla an inch, he said. They take a mile.
So they made up stories, or they published, or they okayed stories about them
Right.
that they didn't want to.
They were leaking, like they were like working with the press, being like, okay, here you can this is a story, you can say sources.
Jeez,
And
that's
yeah,
scumbaggy.
super scumbaggy. When the Oprah interview came out, I said, like, I wonder who the real piece of shit is. It's one of a few people. It's Charles. It's maybe the Queen herself. And then over time, we heard like about the bond between the Queen and Harry, even when as he was leaving, and you kind of like lean towards, you know what? I think Prince Charles is a dick, and we kind of saw that in a couple of days.
Who isn't a dick? Oh, I mean that you got Charles, you got the brother, Major Dick.
Yeah. While Prince Harry was in Afghanistan, he had 25 kills. And this information leaked. He didn't want it getting out there, but he put it in the book because he didn't want he was on Colbert talking about this. He didn't want, you know, veterans to feel bad about what they've done. Because obviously that's a tough pill to swallow, killing 25 people.
Right.
You know. So
Hey,
he
why
kind
would
of
veterans feel bad?
because the royal family leaked a story to one of the tabloids in Britain that he was bragging about how many people he killed over there.
Oh, that he was bragging.
And he was like, he's like, listen, and they leaked. So it wasn't public information until the royal family leaked this tabloid story. So he wasn't out there talking about how many people he killed. They leaked it. And then in order for him to be like, well, like it's out there now, I'm not going to be ashamed of it. He wanted to own it because he didn't want it to look like he was cowering from what he did because felt like that would be a bad message to other veterans because he's done a lot of work with veterans actually since he served in the Royal Army. So I kind of felt bad for him with that whole thing.
Imagine being in the army and serving with. You just look over, it's Prince Harry.
Yeah.
You're like, holy, what am I supposed to like? I mean, you got to protect everybody, I guess, but like, you got like special protection.
I'd feel great if I looked over and saw Prince Harry, I'd be like, oh, we're gonna be
not
okay.
Going anywhere serious. Yeah. Hey, he killed 25 people. He had to be in some shit.
I mean, that's the weird part about it. You'd think he'd be doing like celebrity detail, like show up, take the pictures, hold the gun for a little while.
Apparently, he was in it, man.
He was in the shit. He was in the shit, yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah.
He said he suffered anxiety and panic attacks and PTSD after his time in the war.
Can't blame him.
Yeah, and that he didn't want to like do any public speaking and whatever. And basically, that's his whole job as a royal is public speaking.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to talk about literally everything.
No, but he had to appear in the public and.
Sure. Oh, he didn't want to. Oh, he just didn't want to public speak at all.
Yeah,
I see.
He would get anxiety attacks. J-Sabs comes at this particular moment in the revelation of Prince Harry. A trip to the North Pole left Harry with some discomfort. Upon arriving home, he said, I'd been horrified to discover that my nether regions were frost-nipped as well And while the ears and cheeks were already healing, the Todger wasn't. So his dick got frostbite.
Not the Todger.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not good.
He tried some home remedies like applying Elizabeth Arden cream. They did not work. He saw a doctor.
For frozen cock syndrome?
Yeah.
Apparently. I mean, how do you, could he use it? Like, I had to go to the bathroom.
Well, I think he's fine now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's all right now.
While that's happening, while it's frozen, you got to go to the bathroom. That can't be easy.
I mean, I've had some scary moments. You know, like I broke my leg when I was a kid. I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember like, oh, this is not right. They're very like scary kind of moments when you ever do something. You're like, oh my God, is this going to be okay?
Like giving birth? Yep. Go ahead.
I've never had that with
with your penis.
My penis. Yeah, I would be terrified.
I mean, I've seen like the how people's fingers, they get frostbitten, they turn like black, and it's not great. And some of them, like, there's no blood, they have to be removed or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how severe it was for him, but I can't imagine the pain. It had to be a little painful.
I mean, I think everything is severe.
My friend is a nurse, and two things. Because it's like a running joke every time I see her. I'm like, all right, how many penises have you seen lately? Because she was an ER nurse. So, so she would see them quite often. Two things about the penis. One is, I know a lot of facts, but just about this specific instance. One thing is, the top two reasons that guys came in for the ER for their penis was this. One is that they broke it during sex, like the actual. I wouldn't say just like shaft, okay. And then another thing is, and you guys are gonna have to watch out because it starts after 40 years old. And men would have like these mini heart attacks while having sex.
That has nothing to do with the penis.
Sorry. Look at Anthony's face. He's like, what? What's worse? The breaking of the penis, I guess.
No, the breaking of the penis. Like,
you'd rather have a broken penis than a heart attack?
I was just going to say the amount of people telling me broken penis stories in the last 5 years is utterly ridiculous.
Right.
So, you really heard that many broken penis stories?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And every one of them is awful. And like the worst ones are, we were having sex, it got jammed, I couldn't really finish, and then the next time, there's two versions. And then the next time I was having sex, it was very painful. Like, it was very painful the next time I had erection. Or they'll be like, it started to turn purple, and it's just like every bit of it makes me want to kill myself.
Right.
Broken penis has got to be the worst. I'd rather have a heart attack.
Because I mean, they they have to be able to fix that, right?
Yeah, they can fix. I mean, I don't know if it can be. I mean, I think in some cases it has to be fixed, but a lot of the times it like you got to just let it heal. Yeah. And like every time you get a boat, like I think I saw a fact on this is a TikTok fact, so take it for what you will. That guys get like 11 to 15 erections while they sleep.
Sorry. Yep.
I mean, could you imagine having a broken penis and having a broken penis erection at night? I mean, it would be up every 10 minutes.
Wait. Up and down 15 times during the night? One night?
Yeah, you from like 11 to 15 times on average, a guy gets an erection at night.
That seems like a high number.
That seems like it makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know.
All right. I mean, all right. I wonder who studied that. Oh, there it is.
Somebody.
Write it down. Got one.
Yeah, somebody did. Somebody definitely
sleep.
Yeah, watched you sleep and recorded the erections. I just got one of the. I was talking about this last episode. These stupid watches tells me how I'm sleeping. I'm gonna see if there's an erection.
There might be a setting on there.
An erection.
Might be hard to find though.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. So I mean, broken penis stories. I feel like I've been hearing more and more about them.
That seems awful. I can't even. Because it's not like a broken arm, a bone. Like, it's cartilage and blood. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess your cartilage is breaking.
I heard one guy telling a story. This wasn't, I forget, it was a video or something that somebody had sent me. And the guy goes, I heard the snap. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And he's like, and it was just not sitting right. He goes, and the pain wasn't going away. And then it just started like filling with blood, is how he described it, and turning like purple.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But did he finish?
That's for the worst part.
Ah, damn it.
You got that backup going now for the next 9 months of your life. One guy
His
said it
penis
was like
purple and his balls were blue.
Yeah, one guy told a story. He was like, it was 9 months until it healed. It took him like 9 months. Could you imagine being out of? I mean, I can't.
No,
I won't let my wife go on top anymore because of it.
You can get away.
You gotta let him bark.
Oh God.
When I do, I put her in one of those bungee things, so I know it'll.
That's not going to help.
No, it makes me feel better though.
All right, good for you.
Yeah. Hey, would you blow me? I'm shaking. Yeah, it's a scary. Yeah, nobody wants to think about broken penis.
No, it's not.
Even when you say it.
Next
topic. Okay. Megan convinced him to return to therapy. So it's good that he's going to therapy, I guess.
Okay, that's good.
One evening during their courtship, Meg said something I took the wrong way, so I snapped at her, spoke to her harshly, cruelly. Megan left the room. I went and found her upstairs. She was sitting in the bedroom. She was calm, but said in a quiet, level tone that she would never stand for being spoken to like that again. She wanted to know where it came from. I don't know, I said. Where did you ever hear a man speak like that to a woman? Did you overhear adults speak that way when you were growing up? I cleared my throat, looked away, and said yes. Harry told Megan he'd tried therapy, but it hadn't helped. No, she told him, try again. Putting it down. Yeah. Okay, this made me sad. This was the one that was like, this was very, very sad to me. This is the exchange between Harry and Prince Charles at the time, when he announced his intention to marry Meghan.
Mm-hmm.
Charles said, does she want to carry on working? Harry said, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me doing the job, which would rule out her being on Suits since they film in Toronto.
Right.
He goes, I see. Well, darling boy, there's not enough money to go around. Prince Harry stared, wondered what he was banging on about. He explained, or tried to, I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. So Harry writes, Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any Largesse.
Largesse.
Largesse. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Like a favor.
Okay. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent to, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet in the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange, the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. But it wasn't about money, of course. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight, someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him.
So it was just he wanted to be the center of attention. No matter who he marries, it's going to be a big deal. No?
Right. But I mean, to have your own father be like, I want you to do the whole shtick, but I can't, like, to have your father be jealous of your future wife and spitefully be like, well, I'm not going to be able to you're not going to be financially supported.
Which is ridiculous because they have like gajillions of dollars.
Yeah. Absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
And there's like 90, 90, 100 people. Like my kids say that. Like it's like 90, 100. There's like 90, 100 people working in that royal family.
Yeah. No, that's kind of fucked up. Ooh, what the hell?
God bless you.
Bless you.
J Sabs either
Thank
sneezed or stepped on a mouse. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Or the mouse sneezed.
While J Sabs was stepping on it.
Right.
No, that's kind of messed up. I mean,
that breaks my heart. Again, I don't know if I don't know what's going on with me today, but I read that and I was like, my heart.
Are you getting your period?
I might be. Yeah.
Are you wearing your period underwear?
I'm menstruating.
Yeah.
I don't know. That tugged my heartstrings.
So I mean, so basically he just didn't come out and say I don't support this marriage. He said you can get married, but we're not putting you up financially. I mean,
no, but
he didn't say. But he didn't come out and say I don't want you to marry her, right? Or did he?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what he's saying, right? Like, oh, is she going to work? Well, I can't financially support. Like, he's basically just like putting up all the roadblocks. Like, all right, you can get married if you want to, but you're not getting this, and I can't.
Cut off?
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of marry her, and you're cut off.
I think it's because it's that scene that she did in the new 90210 show. What do you think?
Was she naked?
No, remember I pointed it out. Where it was it wasn't the opening scene, but it was one of the first scenes where she's like blowing some dude in the front seat at a high school.
I mean, but then
that could be it. That could be it.
That might be it.
Yeah, they can't be as perfect as Prince Andrew, I guess.
Yeah, right. I mean, but that's acting, right? I mean, everybody kind of knows that. They should know that.
Yeah, and for the 12 people that saw that episode,
there was a lot of people. We were all ready for it.
Were you?
All right.
Did you end up watching the rest of that? Is it even still going, that series?
No, it's not.
How long did it get?
About 8-9 inches.
Nice.
Hi-oh.
Well done.
I think it had two seasons.
2 seasons. All right.
You know what it is? It's like nothing is going to be as good as the original, so don't even try.
Yeah, they tried.
Name me one remake that was better than the original.
Terminator 2.
TV show.
Oh, TV show. I can't even name a remake. I don't know why.
I was happy to see Saved by the Bell the college years, to be honest with you.
That's not a remake, though.
I guess not.
This was supposed to be a remake or just a separate story?
I got one. Oh, wait. No. It was. What if it's a remake? What if it's a TV show adaptation of a movie? Does that count?
Let me hear it.
Weird Science.
Oh God! Bye.
Whoever. Number one, how is
maybe
that
your brother?
Be better?
Maybe your brother watched that, Frank. Not this.
First, that's not going to be better than the movie,
right?
Because no one's ever heard of it.
Well, it gave us Lisa. What's her name? Angel. Lisa Angel. That was the show that gave us Lisa Angel.
Who's Lisa Angel?
She was the hot girl that got me through the 90s.
Got him through the 90s. Hey,
Google it.
That's gonna be a reel.
Oh, Cobra Kai. There you go. People in the.
But that's not a remake. I mean, like it's like you have to.
Well, how many name another remake?
I
can't even name a remake. It's either a sequel or a spin-off. I can't name like they actually took the characters and tried to do it again. I mean, the Connors.
Wait, didn't they do that with the Honeymooners with Cedric the Entertainer?
They made a movie.
Oh, was it a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're a remake. They remake movies all the time, but TV shows, I can't think of another TV show that they brought back with like the same characters.
Beth said the Mickey Mouse Club, to which Dennis responded, "How old are you, Beth?" The Mickey Mouse Club, they remade that. Like, we wouldn't have had Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, I don't think, if it wasn't for the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh no!
So there you go.
Done.
Do they even have the Mickey Mouse Club anymore?
I don't think so.
M-I-C. See you real soon.
See, Frasier's a spinoff.
K-E-Y. Why? Because I love you.
Okay.
I wanted to be in the fucking Mickey Mouse Club. Fuck. Oh my
Who
God.
didn't?
Let's reboot it and let me be on it.
Yeah. If you know the people in charge, go for it.
I know people who know people.
I think you'd be great inside the Minnie Mouse costume, J Sabs. That's me personally. I think you'd be outstanding.
Fresh Prince. That's a remake.
Ugh.
That
But
is a
it's-
remake.
But nobody watched it. That's a remake, though. The same character, right? Same
Yeah.
general plot.
No, J Sab's point
different
stands. No, there's not been a good remade TV show.
Well, that's the thing. I can't even think of. Mad About You would be a sequel, and I don't even think everybody saw that.
They made
It's
that
on-
over?
Exactly. It's on some weird, whatever streaming service that nobody's ever heard of. That's why nobody sees it.
By the way, I want to point out something. There's podcasts that I watch on YouTube, right? But last night I decided while I was cleaning up, because, I'm a slave to my house at 9:00 at night. While I was cleaning up, I was going to put on a different podcast. And I put on the episode where Frank and his wife reviewed White Lotus, the final episode.
Oh, interesting.
So I listened to them as I cleaned. Don't you think
Very
that's
nice.
nice of me?
That's very nice.
I think that's nice.
Thank you for being a fan. Appreciate it.
Did you
Of your
watch
own
White
podcast.
Lotus? Did you watch
Yes,
the
I
whole?
did.
Oh.
Did you agree with what we were saying?
Yes and no, but I think I was really pissed off at the ending. So
Oh, so was I. Yeah,
yeah, right.
it was very.
Um,
All right, so Deborah Carson has, I think, the winner,
I should be shot in the face for not getting what Deborah said.
right?
what'd she say?
The Office. That's a remake, and it's probably. I never saw the British version,
Yeah, you know what? I haven't either, so I cannot compare.
but they only did one season of the British version, and the American version had how many seasons? 7, 8,
9.
9.
I think they did 3 seasons of the original.
Was it 3?
Yeah, check that. I
Look
think
it
it was 3. But Deborah's got. I mean, I don't know how that went past all of us. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Darn
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's the winner, I think. 2
I mean,
seasons.
it's not even close. And the British one, everybody goes, "Oh, the British one's really good." It's okay.
Never
Nothing
watched
beats the English one.
Nothing.
Nothing.
There you go. That's the
That's
winner.
Not even close.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
job, Deborah Carson.
Way to go, Deb.
All right, what's next? What do we got?
That is it. Other than William didn't want Harry to be the best man at his wedding.
Who did he want?
He said that he didn't want him to be the best man because he didn't want him to give the best man speech. He was afraid to hand him a live microphone.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I just said no speeches. We're not doing speeches.
Yeah, that's the move, right? Just no speeches.
No speeches. We're skipping that. It's all right.
Don't
We just don't want that
you
in our
hate when you're at a wedding and either the best man speech or the maid of honor speech is just so long and like they have like these personal jokes in it and you're like, can we just fucking get this going?
I went to a wedding.
Am I the
where-
only one?
I went to a
Love
wedding
it.
where the person's father, I think it was the groom's father, gave a speech. There was the
Ugh.
best man, the maid of honor, and then the groom's father decided to take the mic, and it went on, no kidding, for about 20 minutes.
Oh,
And we
Wow.
were all standing there, like leaning on each other, like holding our drinks, like, I can't.
didn't the DJ come in with like
Nobody came in with nothing.
music? No, music like to usher them off stage like they do at award
Like the
shows.
Oscars? No,
Yeah.
nobody did that. That would have been
Should have started playing
fantastic.
Bad Bunny. It's like, okay, time to go now.
Playing
That
bad.
guy,
Mamacita, oh, na, 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 na,
that would have
freaky
been, everybody would have
mama.
tipped that DJ. It was awful. We were just all standing like, what the hell?
You would think that Wedding Crashers would have corrected a lot of that. Like, I think that scene where he's like, no, you don't know how to give a maid of honor speech. Like, do it this way. And she just says no, and she goes up there and just eats it.
Yeah. And even that speech was what? A minute and a half?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Best man, maid of honor speech. You've got 5 minutes.
Tops. Not even
Tops.
That's pushing it.
Yeah. Tops.
You get up there. I love you guys. You're the best. You tell maybe one small story of how you guys know each other forever. You go to the bride and groom, and then you sit your ass down.
Yep.
That's that.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the end of that.
But people don't get that. People make it about them, where you got to understand it's about
the 150 people in the room who want to eat their dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's messed up.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember speeches did anybody give a speech during I wasn't at J-Sab's wedding. I wasn't invited.
Right. Oh, that's good, because I wasn't invited to Frankie C's. So.
Oh, I forgot. That's right. I'm trying to, did anybody give speeches? Did your brother talk at your wedding? I don't even remember.
At my wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did. He gave a speech.
I remember. He got up there and went,
he just slammed against the floor. No, the reason he got drunk was because he didn't eat anything all day because he was nervous about giving the speech. And then when he got to the wedding, he had like 2 drinks or whatever. He gave the speech and then he drank on an empty stomach.
I don't remember him giving the speech.
Yeah. And Aaron's sister gave the maid of honor speech. They both did a speech. It was short.
I don't remember that either.
You know, they didn't drag on. They were good.
Would love to see pictures of your brother from that night because I've never seen him drunk ever.
I've never even
seen him tipsy. How about that?
I've seen
drunk. Frank's brother drunk plenty of times.
It's quite a scene.
No, I've never seen him drunk.
One of the earliest great Frank's brother drunk story is we go to a baseball game. We go to the old Shea Stadium.
Mets game.
And him and I don't even know who else. It doesn't even matter.
It was me, you, him, and one of his friends.
One of his friends.
All know.
And I don't even know. Did you and I have driver's licenses yet? I think we might have had learners. We did.
I think it was either learner's permits or we were just newly licensed.
Yeah, and no way capable of driving, especially at night. And Frank had to drive home because Frank's brother and his friend got shit-faced off of. I don't even know what it was. I remember them filling water bottles with beer or something.
I don't remember what they had, but they had a cooler and something they drank, and then they had beer at the stadium, and then I had to drive everybody home.
Could you imagine being able to bring a water bottle, though, into a stadium? Like, that would never happen
This was a long time ago.
Now you're dating yourself.
Anyway,
right?
They get so sloshed during the game. We're leaving the game, and I just remember Frank's brother refusing to walk a foot without high-fiving everybody in his purview. So everybody that was leaving. Yeah.
He's not normally, but this was a special occasion, I guess. Everybody on the way out. A crowded Shea Stadium. We're all filing out into the parking lot. Yeah. And he had a high five literally everyone.
Everybody. 60,000 people. You got to
get it. High five. Yeah. I remember there were people that did not want to high five him. And it was just, you suck. High five. It was bad.
Yeah, I remember. I'm like, somebody's just going to take. I'm like, he's going to talk to somebody's girlfriend or wife, and somebody's just going to fucking drop him right here. And I'm like, I just remember thinking in my head, there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to be one punch. It's going to be over before it starts, and the guy's going to walk away, and we're going to have to pick him up.
It's just to carry him back to the car.
Carry him, yeah.
But we get into the car, and we drive. I'm driving us home, and of course, he pukes out the side of the car.
Oh.
And when I get home, it's just me and him. We go home. I get him out of the car. I get him into bed. First, I had to get him to the bathroom so he could puke again. Then I get him to bed. I had to get him under the covers, and then I had to go outside and hose off the car. This was all covered in puke.
Yeah, those good early drunk
I've done that twice.
It was fun.
Were you the one? Off your car? No, Janine was the one who. You were the one who puked during the winery. I don't even know if we've ever told that story. I think we might be saving that story. It's too good.
puking at the old winery.
I don't remember if we have or not. We might have like mentioned it, but
I don't think we ever have, because I think it's because I think there's photographs of it. So I think we should, maybe next year's Christmas special.
I think we should do a show at our winery. We'll go out there. We'll have
Okay.
we'll make a day of it, and we'll just do we'll do a show.
That I'm definitely in.
At one of the tables while we get hammered.
We'll see if we can get, what was his name? Gene the Machine or something? The guy?
Gene the Singing Machine.
Gene the Singing Machine. Poor bastard. Never saw it coming. Well, that's it. That's my Harry stuff. You feel bad? Am I being a
pussy?
Okay, thank you.
The stuff that, like his father saying you're cut off if you marry her, that sucks.
I bet you he doesn't ask his wife if they can have sex. I bet he just plows her like every other normal human husband in the world.
Oh, okay. Do you want to circle back to that?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Hold on. First, rest in peace, Jeff Beck. We lost the great Jeff Beck today.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere.
Don't know who you are, but you know what?
Yeah, a lot of people.
You're a good man.
A lot of people are going to say that Jeff Beck never had a friggin' hit. I mean, in his life, but
he was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice.
He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was in the Yardbirds, the Jeff Beck group. He's hugely influential.
Oh, now I got it. Okay, right, Jeff.
I know. No, probably Beck's Bolero, Escape. If you want to see a couple of tunes, any great blues cover, he's one of the best soloists out there. Anyway,
hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
Yeah, Google that there, J Subs. There is still quite a now I gotta find where I put it. There's still quite a bit of feedback from our episode on consent. From what was that, 2-3 days ago now?
More than that. It wasn't the last episode we did. It was the one before that, right? So it wasn't Monday. It was last Friday.
All right, Friday's episode. So if you want to see
5 days ago.
Yeah, go back to Friday's episode. I'm trying to see here because there was okay, I got it here. All right, there's 2 consecutive comments in a row that I took a screenshot of because I found it to be really interesting.
Okay. Just want to say, Joanna, welcome to the live chat. She finally caught us live.
Hey, there you go.
Nice. So go ahead.
Well, now that Joanna's here, I'm nervous. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Why was your brother nervous? He's a teacher, for the love of God.
Good question. I think because family and friends, it's literally a couple hundred people of everybody he knows. And it's an important kind of speech that you don't want to mess up. It's on film, the whole thing. I don't know. I guess, it was just
Wait, what?
The best man's speech that he had to give, my brother.
That's funny.
Oh.
I will actually, I gave a best man speech once, and I wasn't nervous, like, oh my God, like stage fright. I don't get that. But it was the closest to nervous I ever was because I just didn't want to fuck it up. Like I wanted it to be really good because that's the kind of thing that stays with people for a super long time.
Exactly. Especially if you stand out as being terrible.
Right.
Then that's no good.
All right. All right, here we go. So this is from One Patriotic Bitch, who I love the name. Oh, wait, hold on. I got the wrong one. That's the response. I do love One Patriotic Bitch's name, though.
This is off to a great start.
Yeah. But don't push me around, Frank. I'm getting to it.
Come on already.
All right.
You could probably take down Jeff Beck.
This came from A. Riddles. First, I listen to you guys every week, and I love the show. I mostly appreciate that you guys will discuss all your very different opinions openly and respectfully. We need a lot more of that love. That being said, Anthony, I've listened to your perspective on gender roles many times, and I have to say I think this is a harmful way of thinking to not only yourself, but to others and society. I'm harming society, Frank.
I'd agree with that.
I would encourage you to do some introspection when it comes to what you think of as masculinity and why. Specifically in the story you're describing, you're saying because he's not a dominant sexual partner, that means he's not masculine. That in itself is a hugely harmful, and when that's the narrative, that in itself is hugely harmful. And when that's the narrative, don't you think that encourages an environment for SA?
Sexual abuse.
Assault or abuse, yeah.
I know that's not what you're saying, but think about the consequences of a young person or anybody for that matter hearing that. My opinion is that gender roles in general are completely societal constructs that were made to create the male gender as dominant in power and have control over women. And I think challenging that makes you uncomfortable. There is actually no reason that either gender should take a specific role. And to use your example of fixing stuff, if anything, I think it also challenges a male's input to a household. Women are factually the default parent, the assumed caretaker. So if she can fix stuff, it's one less thing that men are needed for. I'm under no illusion I'll change your mind, but hopefully just provide a different perspective.
I don't even know what that means.
That means we don't have, not every male female relationship is, oh, the guy has to be like this and the girl has to be like this, and every guy has to be masculine. You have to be the.
Yes, they do.
Okay. No, because I think masculinity and femininity are on a scale. It's on a spectrum. Better word. So there are ultra masculine, which is just way down the line, and then it goes towards the other end of towards feminine, and there's all different kinds of men,
Way
and all
masculine
different times of women.
and pussies.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying or no?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying feminine. If you want to call feminine people pussies, then that's up to you. But what I'm saying is they're masculine.
She's made a podcast career out of it so far. I mean,
no, we're not masculine.
You know what it was? I missed the beginning, and I'm gonna go back and listen to what you actually had to say. But no, I cannot believe that you, Anthony, would say to your wife, "Oh, is this okay?" No, sorry.
I don't think it comes down to you have. I think you have to test stuff. You can't just if you wanted to do something new in bed, you kind of have to.
Well, that's different. But I he said he asked, is he?
And you got to make sure your wife is okay with what you're doing. You can't be like, this is what we're doing and that's it.
I think my point got missed a little bit.
Doing anal tonight, okay.
You got to run it by the significant other a little bit. You got to be like, hey, what do you feel? You got to be on the same page.
First of all, backdoor is an automatic conversation. You don't just give that a try.
Oh, that's wrong hole.
That's a conversation. I mean, that'll happen, but you don't just. That's a conversation. You don't just do that. I mean, I don't know any man that would. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's crazy to me.
That is crazy. No, but you have to make sure. You have to make sure you're both on the same page when you get things started.
I think my point was, which got misconstrued, and Janine, I would love your opinion on this.
Go ahead.
My opinion, my what I was saying was, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, all right, guys for the most part were dicks. Majority of the guys, over 60-70% of men were dicks. They were maybe a little molesty, maybe a little sexually harassing.
It's cold outside.
Who's molesty?
Right? Their tendencies were not good, and a shift needed to happen. Okay. And I think through the 90s and the 2000s, people started recognizing hey, workplaces are not safe and not enjoyable and not good for women, and men need to change their behavior. Right?
If Jay Saps works there.
But what I'm saying is as that happened, let's say the assholeness of a man was at an 8 and we were trying to get all the 8s down to a 5 so that they would be normal human beings. What I was saying is you actually had 5s to start with that went down to 2s that became, for lack of a better term, what Janine would describe as a pussy. And I think what you had over the course of the late 90s and in the early 2000s, as Frank and I were coming into teenager 20s or early 30s, you had a lot of guys that were hearing all their lives how awful men were and how bad men were, and were trying to go, above and beyond out of their way to be overly respectful. And then as a result of that, you have women who are like, stop being pussies and be a man and be assertive. And
there's assertive and then there's aggressive. You can't.
Let me just finish this. I reiterated several times in this conversation with Frank to everybody that doesn't mean if you're an, because again, there's a lot of people who started at asshole. And that doesn't mean, oh, this guy is saying it's okay to be more assertive. I can go back to being molesting. That's not what I mean. I mean, there were guys that weren't molesting to begin with, took in everything that everybody was saying as a society and went way the other way with it as we were trying to center asshole to just normal human being. As everybody shifts over, they become overly, cautious. And, and like my example was, checking for consent is not a bad thing. And I said this numerous times. But checking 8 times, maybe just check 5 times. You know what I'm saying?
5 times? I think I disagree with that.
If it's your first time with the other person, and you're doing different, you're moving on to each step. Is this all right? Something like that, or how are you doing, or what's going on? You just check in. You got to check in every now and then.
I wouldn't like that.
Well, then that's the difference, though.
And that's my point. I'm sorry, Frank. I will let you. I'm sorry.
No, but you didn't. Go ahead.
That was my point, is that there are women that will look at that now and go, this is not a turn on for me. This is not what I'm looking for in a man. And I think we have a problem now because this is what happens. We try and correct and we overcorrect everything. I think and we get into overcorrect. Now, listen, that's not to say that there aren't still men that need to hear, don't be an asshole. Make sure you check and make sure everything is okay. That still needs to be said, which I did say in the last episode. But my point is that if you're like me and you're checking 8 times, you don't have, you maybe be not so much of a wishy-washy. And the point was I had overheard somebody telling this story about, how, a girl would be in his bed. And I felt the same way. You'd be in the bed. They're naked. They're right. And you're like, are you sure? And it's
what's
like,
wrong with that? That's fine.
So,
if you're both in bed naked and you're about to do something and you want to make sure, hey, you're sure, that's nothing wrong with that.
No, I think that.
Yes, Frank is right. But to ask 2 more times after that is the problem, is what I'm saying.
Whatever makes both parties comfortable. If it takes 2 more times to make both people 100% on something, then that's
I'm going to let Janine finish here. But I think the point is that the 3rd time you check, as she's trying to put her penis inside of her, your penis inside of her, and you're checking for a 3rd time, you're going to start to piss her off and her be like, forget it then. I just don't want to, if you're going to be this
then
much.
you ruined it.
Well,
then that's you.
Here's the thing. I think that if there's 2 adults in bed naked with each other, there should be no question of, hey, is this okay? I don't think that would even come.
So anything goes. No, you're both in bed naked. Anything goes.
Well, if you're going to have sex, just regular sex. No, I don't think.
But this is like, you can't, you can't just do anything you want and expect everybody to be able. Yeah, well, if you have that understanding, that's one thing.
No,
if the both of you are on that same page of let's just be wild, great.
If a man is if we're in bed together and a man is gonna put his penis inside me, and I know we're both naked and we're gonna have sex, I don't expect him to say, "Is this okay?" Because obviously it is okay if I'm lying there naked with you. I think that you would be able to tell from like body language and chemistry.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big part of it. Absolutely, body language, or how everything escalates and where you are. It's not just like you're thrown in bed naked. You have to gradually get to those steps, and if there's a question along the way, it might make one party feel better to ask that question rather than think, oh, is this too much, or am I doing something wrong? Especially if it's like the first time you and that person are together, or even the next time, whatever it is. You got to make sure.
I'm not talking about
one of you is uneasy.
I'm not talking about something new. I'm talking about, You take a like you're ready to end the date, and the girl goes, "Can I come to your house?"
Oh
Okay.
yeah, she wants to fuck.
Now most guys will think, "Okay, that's it, I'm good." But then there's guys that are like, all right, can I get you a water? How about a glass of wine?" Oh, okay. Like they're when you're up to the 15th sign of like, "Do you want to watch TV? How about we go in your bedroom?" Oh, okay. Like there's all these signs where most guys are like, "Oh, okay, she wants to have sex." But then I felt like hearing this guy and being the way I was, we would be down to no clothes, and I would still be like, is it? Do you think we're gonna have
Oh
sex
no.
tonight?"
Oh no, no, no,
And she'd
no,
be
no,
like,
no.
"Oh, hello, we're this yes, we're gonna have sex tonight," and you're like, "Oh, are you sure?" Like,
Well,
and I mean,
you don't have
that's
to
what
ask
I'm
it
Are
like
saying.
you
that.
sure?
You don't have to be so. Wait. Are we gonna? You could be like, you could be maybe a little more sexy about it. You don't have to be like, let's state for the record here that we're gonna. You could be like, hey, you sure about this? Let's.
If you whispered in her ear, "Are you sure you just want me to just pound you out right now?"
There you go. See, that's a sexy way of asking.
Well,
It is.
that's what this guy was saying, and I feel like I was overly cautious back in the day, and I
Uh,
feel like there's a lot of people like that.
well,
I
let me
think
tell
that's
you
fine. The more
something.
caution, the better.
See, this is where this is the interesting dynamic. Frank thinks it's fine no matter what, where I think at a certain point you're harming
Oh yeah,
your
it's definitely a turnoff.
What
your
are you harming?
relationship with the girl.
Yeah, you are.
If you're both on the same page and she's okay with, if it's yeah,
Frank
you
doesn't
could
believe
ask.
in too much of a good thing.
I think if you ask a couple of times or even 8 times and the girl's okay, and it's like then you're all good to go. But if she's upset with how many times you're asking, again, she could say, "All right, well, good. You don't have to ask anymore," and then you keep going.
How
That's
annoyed
that.
do you think I would get? And how many? What's the slap sound gonna sound like when when I tell the guy just shut the fuck up and put it in? That's it.
All right, so shortly after A. Riddle's comment, one patriotic bitch wrote, "I agree with you as I do most of the time, Anthony. The whole men subject and how we have gone back further than needed. I am more old day traditional. I want my husband to be the man, not a pussified bitch who has to ask permission on everything and can't make his own decisions or have his own opinions. He isn't going to overstep the boundaries on me being equal in the relationship, but there are times when women want the men to take the lead and be the man. Nothing wrong with men treating women with respect and making sure their partner is comfortable and willing and cool with the situations and stuff, but women have changed today also. Some give off flirt signals and then turn around and get angry when a man acts on those signals. That makes all situations dangerous for men because nobody wants their name or reputation dragged through the mud or falsely accused. Don't be a tease and entice a man and then turn around. I'm not gonna say that word.
Be a C word.
When they want to act, women have gotten too masculine, in my opinion. Each relationship is different, so I think the conversation needs to come up for new couples. You need to know the type of person you're dealing with before you act. So conversation is a must to get to know someone before you get that far in a relationship.
So that's a form of checking with the person, having the conversation, and making sure you're both on the same page. So if the
really
guy is going to be a aggressive guy, what if she goes stop? Then she's not comfortable with it. But if she's like, yeah, okay, and then she's like, let's go. It's always asking. You have to. It's not always, hey, are we gonna have sex? Are you okay with? Sometimes it's you good, or it's
You still do that now, Frank.
what.
You still say to your wife, "You're good with this?"
Oh, sometimes it's you in the mood. Are you ready to go? What's going on? You gotta. I don't want to just like.
You start to
Jesus.
DJ, and she's like, "Wicka."
We should talk about that one day. How signals in a relationship get modified over time. Like when you're married for a number of years, after a while, like you'll just be like on your phone scrolling and go, like it could go from long romantic conversations, meals, and wine to,
You ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
But like, if going back to this comment here, So I want my husband to make his own decisions, which is fine. But this particular decision is not just his own decision. He's deciding for you too. So if he makes a decision and you're not in agreement with that decision, you've made, you've put your half of this decision into it too. Both parties have to be equally into it. That's all I'm saying. Both parties have to be on board.
But here's what I'm saying is what I've learned over the last 10 years, 15 years or so is that there's a good amount of women that want their men to be assertive.
Then that's between them and their partner.
But that was a surprise to me.
But that can't come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, if they want their partner to be assertive is fine, but aggressive and
aggressive,
which is fine. Again, if that's what you want, that's fantastic.
But I think the point is
the guy has to be made aware of it, and the woman has to be okay with it, and the guy has to know that the woman is okay with it. No?
Yes, I agree. But again, I'm the same guy who said a week ago that Andrew Tate is a huge douchebag for teaching this overly masculine bullshit, manipulative, like, let me fucking, I think that's all horseshit. But I don't think it was born out of nothing. Like, I think he saw an opportunity because a lot of women feel like there's not enough men out there acting like men.
Well, this is true. I'd say from the consensus of my friends and people I know, a lot of them say that they wish their husband would be more, or boyfriend would be more aggressive.
Okay, I will say, what I said over the last 10, 15 years, that comes mostly from our friend group. And hearing the women in our friend group talk, and I look around and I go, my male friends are a bunch of pussies. Like, this is what.
Who have you heard say something?
Like, everybody.
Me?
Everybody all of you at some point, you get enough drinks in the women in this group and they will start talking. They will start giving you way more information than you ever even
I
asked
know
for.
exactly what you mean. That one night.
There's a lot of nights.
One night on a boat.
There's a lot of nights. That was the latest.
I don't think I heard. I was there and I consciously avoided hearing any of that. So, because I really didn't want to know whatever they were talking about.
Well, I'll tell you something. The roommate overheard something and then he tried the same thing that night. And I was like, Where'd you read this?
What playbook is this from?
Only because I was too busy. I was too busy dancing upstairs.
So I thought you wanted him to be aggressive and take the initiative. Say that's something you didn't agree with, right?
I didn't agree with it, but I let him do it anyway.
Okay. Jeez.
No, but it's the truth. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've come back from a friend gathering and just been like, not appalled, but like shocked a little, like holy shit. Like, they're like, again, because I feel like this, and I said this in the last episode, you have to be 35 to 45 to even understand what we're talking about, because every other generation didn't have to deal with it like we did. I feel like this is specific to our generation, where you were just taught men are bad, this is bad behavior, and be nice.
I'm very surprised at that.
I think you're exaggerating it.
No, and my point is that for the nice people, like, again, that was necessary for the assholes, but there was a lot of nice people that were like, oh, okay, and then went ridiculously nice, overly nice, and too much so to a fault where now it's like there are this generation of nice people that went way too nice, and now their wives are like, can you man the fuck up, please? And I think that's a big thing, and not just in our group. Like I said, I overheard this guy telling the story, and that's what sparked the whole thing.
Well, you said something before, like they wish they want the men to act like men. Well, what does that mean? Act like a man. There's so many different. There are men out there.
That is true.
That it's a scale, masculine to feminine, and it's everybody is a different spot on the scale. So acting like a man means what?
Well, it could mean a different thing to different people.
Yeah,
Exactly. A
it could be-
man
yes.
could be very feminine. A man could be very masculine. Doesn't matter. You're a man, you're a woman, everybody's different. So acting like you and you want to be I'd rather have people be too nice and go and swing hard that way than go the other way and swing to the the dick way, the asshole way.
I
So
agree
wait.
with that as a society because you got to
Mhm.
get those assholes down a few notches into you know how to behave with a woman.
Well, let me
But
ask
to-
you this. Go ahead. No,
I
go
was just
ahead.
gonna say, but now you have an issue where those fives who were nice to begin with are now ones, and you got to kind of get them back up to fours and fives.
So they're ones now. You don't have to do anything to them. You don't have to they are who they are. If they're ones, they're ones.
No, but that's not what the women that that are attracted to them want. That's
Too
causing a
bad.
problem.
Well, then they don't want them. If that's who they are, if they're a one, then that's who they are. And if the women don't like that, then either they could talk with the guy and say, I'm with you. You've changed to a one. I want you back that way. That's between them. Or they have to find another one. That's who they are.
Let me ask you this. So you're basically saying, Anthony, that you grew up hearing that men were dicks. So like basically 65 and up, you'd say those men are dicks, right?
I think those men came from a generation where they treated women horribly, like specifically in the workplace, at bars, things like that.
You've been watching too much of that show. What's it called?
Mad Men.
Yeah, there you go. Also, I would love to be treated like that at work. No, I'm just kidding. I was basically treated like that at work. I treated people like that at work. No. Now, with that being said, I don't think that my little old man crush, well, he's not little, but I don't think my old man crush, I don't think he treats women that way.
No,
What say
'cause
you?
it's not everybody.
It's
It's
not everybody,
That's the
right?
point.
his generation.
So anybody who, as we were growing up, saw what was happening and said, well, and they took the lesson of all men are assholes, got the wrong lesson. A lot of men were assholes. A lot of men are assholes. But to think that
I think a
all men
majority
are,
of them were though.
which, yeah, that may be. But it's when you see a lesson of men need to not be assholes to women, you could take that inward and go, well, I'm not an asshole to women.
Oh,
I'm
but
good.
wait. I'm also
Or
going
you
to
could
turn
say,
ar-
I
Go
am,
ahead.
and correct myself. It's those lessons and those morals are for the people who are
But I don't think
assholes.
men know because I didn't know the same way an asshole doesn't know. Like an asshole thinks like, oh, she wants me or she wants me to be, flirting with her or touching her. And, like you look at some guys, how they behave. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like they
Well,
don't
that's
know. I don't
why.
think they know.
So what is your complaint then?
I'm saying I didn't know the same way. Like I didn't know I was sitting there in a situation and the girl is on the other side going, why is he acting like
Asking
this?
me.
Yeah, why isn't he just doing what I want him to do? And it's because,
I go to
think
Pound Town.
she's got to let him know this is what I wanted. This is what I want. It can't
No,
just
she
be
doesn't.
how he, because if a guy does that and
Because
she doesn't want it, then he's in trouble.
Well,
Frank,
then
you're-
don't be
Frank,
laying
you're-
down in bed naked with him.
listen, you're a nice guy. You don't think you were ever in the exact situation that I'm describing?
What?
Where a girl was like, why is he being so cautious? Why isn't he just
That's
grabbing
fine,
me and like, okay, I'll never forget this. We were in film class, high school. Okay. This conversation is burned into my brain.
Oh God.
I wasn't there because I was not in film class.
We watch On the Waterfront. And there's this scene where, fuck is his name? The Godfather.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando, like just grabs this fucking girl and kisses her like as she's trying to get away from him. And I remember we watched this whole scene, and like typical to film class, he would just put a scene on, we'd watch it, he'd go, okay, thoughts. And everybody would put their hands up and say something. And I raised my hand and I go, is anybody else a little uncomfortable about how he fucking grabbed this girl who was like kicking and screaming to get away from him and was kissing her? And a lot of the guys were like, yeah, that was a little weird. That was a little uncomfortable. My teacher turns around and goes, oddly enough, a lot of women will say that they felt a lot of romantic feelings during that scene. Like that was a big turn on to them. And I'm looking at my teacher going, that guy can't be trusted. That guy has got
that's
some skeletons and shit up in his closet. But now what I'm saying is fast forward fucking 25 years later, and to hear women go, I wish the guy would just fucking grab me already and make out with me. And I'm going, holy shit. Maybe this guy.
There's a difference. There's a huge difference between doing that to a girl who obviously doesn't want that and doing that to someone who is into it. The guy has to know this is what this person that I'm with wants. He has to know it. Otherwise, he's rolling the dice, and if he's wrong, it's a problem. It's a problem for her. It's a problem for him.
Listen, I agree, and I'd much rather be on my side than on the other side. But that doesn't go without saying that I believe societally there was an overcorrection, and there's a lot of like super, super nice guys that could take it down 2 or 3 notches and still be nice guys and probably be in better relationships with the women that they're with. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But, if you're with someone, if you're dating someone and she wants the guy, if say it's a guy and a girl, she wants the guy to be more aggressive, then she could hint at it. She could say it a little, hey, I wish you just, or maybe she, initiates, or, there's got to be some kind of, you can't just assume he's going to do it, number one. You can't just assume he's going to be
Can't assume the guy's going to do anything.
Right. That's true. And hey, if that's what you want, tell the guy. The guy will be fun. If you say, "Hey, I'd like you one day just to initiate it and just let's go," I'm sure the guy will do that. But to think he's just going to do that out of nowhere and risk, hurting her or messing with her or anything like that, I don't think that's
hurt me.
That's the way to do it. That's not the way.
I like this from Brian. Funny, some prior employers didn't ask if I was okay when I was getting fucked.
Been there.
That's the biggest workplace molestations is from the fucking boss.
Yep.
Right.
Anyway. All right. So that's that.
Just get consent. Just be nice. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive if you're both on that same page. That's all I'm saying.
I think that if you are unsure, if the girl doesn't if you're unsure, then maybe you should ask for consent.
Oh, if you're unsure, you should ask.
If you're unsure,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But if you've been with your wife for 12 years and you're DJing and she just puts your hand away, you don't have to ask.
Listen, I was making a joke.
Yeah.
I was making a joke that I asked for consent so much that I'm married to my wife with 2 kids, and I'm still asking 3
I hope
times
that was
if
a
it's
joke.
okay. That was a joke.
I don't think that your wife would like that.
Well, it doesn't have to be, honey, would you like to have sex tonight? It could be something like, you lean in and you kiss her on the cheek or something, and she's like,
what are you talking about? In my house, she'll look at me and go, "Are we doing this, or am I going to bed?" You tell.
Well, whatever it is, whatever your relationship is.
That's how consent is today.
A lot of relationships are different. You have different signals. You have different ways of getting to that moment. So it's it might not be as cut and dry as are we going to? Yes, we are going to. No,
I'll give you one of my signs. If I come to bed with my hair's down, boy, it's on.
Hair down is the signal.
Yep.
Does he know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, come on. Although sometimes I'm like,
why is hair down the signal?
Because I go to sleep with my hair up, and I hate having my hair up. So, he just knows. He knows.
My wife wears a specific shirt. And we've talked about this before. I know.
A couple of arrows on it.
She puts on a shirt. Yeah, sure does blow. I know it's going down then.
She borrowed it from me.
Is it an Anthony on Air shirt?
No.
No. Okay.
You know what bugs me though is marriage is how many times you do kind of have to schedule sex. Like it doesn't happen all the time, but there are times where it's like, well, shit, if we don't do it now, it's going to be like 4 days. And then it's kind of like, well, but maybe Tuesday at 3, we could fit it. Oh, all right. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but that happens in our relationship sometimes.
Well, my parents are sleeping over tonight, so you know what that means.
That means the whole house is going to be rocking. It's going down tonight.
Holy shit.
So yeah,
J
in
Sab's
fact,
household.
my computer's dying, so I gotta go soon.
I don't know if we have any more topics for J-Sabs. I don't even know. Do you care about Rachel Ray?
No. My friend worked on the show for years, but no.
On the Rachel Ray show?
Wait.
Was she nice?
Was she nice? Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know.
She was.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
Hey, would you blow me? Wrote J Sabs walks around with the long pumps only t-shirt.
That's a good sign. That's a sign.
But I'll be disappointed because it's short pumps only. Definitely.
Dope.
Oh, wait, you sent me something. I put it on my thing, but I didn't get to it. We didn't get Ben Affleck at the, what was he doing at the Dunkin' Donuts?
He was filming a commercial, but he actually stayed to like give people their coffee at the drive-thru.
Oh, he worked at it a little bit.
That's fucking funny.
Right?
I got to tell you, the fucking funniest Dunkin' Donuts thing ever is his brother, Casey Affleck on SNL. It's the holiday. They just played it for the holiday show. You ever see that?
No.
It's like Boston guys. Google Casey Affleck Dunkin' Donuts after the show.
Oh, I'll have to watch that one.
It's fucking hysterical.
But I said to Anthony, do you think he gives long pumps of caramel or whatever flavor you want, Affleck? Do you think he knows how to? I think he knows how to because he hits that Dunkin' hard. You know he does.
A New England guy.
Mm-hmm.
They love it up there in Boston.
A lot of dunks in Boston. They're like every block.
It's a fucking religion up there. It's not just coffee. It's a religion.
It's insane up there. They're everywhere.
And it's typical to everything else Boston. It's just shittier than everywhere else. Like that's the thing,
like
and they
Boston.
just still love it.
Boston. Boston's a nice town.
It's a shittier version of
Oceani.
New York.
Oceani with the super chat. Thank you very much. Thanks for a very funny show. Well, you're very welcome, Oceani.
I think Aussie Annie likes her men to be aggressive. Aussie, please confirm because I feel like you do.
I think most women do, and I think it's
so.
hard for dudes.
That's fine.
But
you could like that.
Hard.
But I do think it's still going on. Like I think we have a generation of like overly in touch guys, especially now. They're like we have to. I mean, this is not a bad thing. There's gender fluidity more now than ever before. Like I think this generation of teenagers, 20-year-olds, they don't give a shit about gender as much as somebody who's like 60 years old.
Right.
So I think there's a little bit of this weirdness going on there.
That's the scale. It's not weirdness. It's just that's what it is.
But I think you're gonna have a lot of, and I say like I say women, but it's whatever it is. I think you have a lot of people going like, I wish you would be more like,
So then all you got to, I feel like with most people,
but here's what can I just say?
All you got to do is say it once.
Can I just say this?
And then they will.
It's nobody's fault. It's hard when you're living. You can't teach everybody the same thing. There are some people you can't be like, come on, men, be stronger, because there are some dudes that are going to take it too far, and that's how we wound up in this situation in the first place. Some people that are going to Bill Cosby this fucking thing.
Oh,
and then you're like,
well, I think that's just him being a narcissist. Like
a rapist and a terrible person.
But that all stems from him thinking he's the best. No one's above him, and men who are like that are men who are narcissistic like that.
Think they can get whatever they want anytime.
Sexually think like you owe it to them. Like this is what they should get. Like no matter what.
But I think there's a lot of men out there like that too.
You mean nowadays?
I mean, all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's those men that started the problem. I think there was more of those type of men in the 70s and 80s, but that's not to say that they're not still around today.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
that's why
there is.
I'm
I
f-
know there is. I've seen it. I know some. So
Well, that's why a little overcorrection is fine. I think you can never be too careful. If you need to check, you need to check. That's that.
so you think I should ask my husband? It's definitely me asking my husband. Is this okay?
You definitely need to check with. Can I just say
I
something to you
know, I know.
honestly?
Whatever you're doing has to be approved.
I think we should do this have this conversation off the air for legal purposes, but you definitely need to check more.
Sharon loves ice cream has the quote.
Let's see. There's a difference between being aggressive and pushy and being confident and assertive. Agree.
Right. Confident
Not
and
easy.
assertive is fine.
But not easy for people to, not easy for people. I'm telling you, over the course of my lifetime, I have had this conversation way too many times where the girl's been like, I really wish you would have done this, or it would have been great if you did this. Like, I've had that
left.
conversation way too many times.
Really wish you would have left. Really wish you would have gotten me a sandwich instead. I'm good.
I really wish you would have found where my button was. What? No, I'm just kidding. I really wish you would have just DJ'd a little harder.
Let me ask you a serious question. You think Ben Affleck is good in bed?
Absolutely. You know what? That picture of him the other day, I was like, you know what? He is a handsome guy.
Yeah.
He's
Doesn't mean
a
handsome.
hot guy.
Handsome doesn't mean he's good in bed.
Also, he definitely knows how to fuck. If J-Lo's with him, sorry.
That's a good point.
If J-Lo was with him, is that what you said? Don't you feel like he doesn't get the amount of respect that he should have? Like, didn't he win an Oscar for directing
for
Good Will
Hunting?
Humping.
Sucked.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no, right. Well, he wrote Good Will Hunting. Didn't he win for the one? What was it? Argo? Yeah.
Did he win for that?
I'm sorry. I think the guy is a fucking world-class filmmaker. Obviously, he's like tall, dark, and handsome, right? He's got that whole fucking shtick going on. Like, I can't believe he's not in the conversation of I want to fuck him more, or I think he's a wonderful filmmaker more. I feel like we're shitting all over Ben Affleck and disrespecting him when he should be way higher in the spectrum of national respect of people.
It won Best Picture and Best.
He cheated
Adapted
on his
screenplay.
ex-wife with the babysitter, so I think that's what.
Jennifer
drove his-
Garner
Yeah.
with the babysitter.
This was years ago.
Listen, yeah, babysitters. I mean,
They get a pass?
I'm just saying, when you're fucking famous as fuck and your significant other goes away for 4 months at a time to go work on a film, well, what are you going to do? Babysitters are going to get banged. That's just the reality of a situation. You want to avoid that? Hire a dude babysitter. I mean, hire somebody. And even in that case, I'm sure he probably would have fucked the guy and been like, what do you want? What do you expect from me?
What do you think?
Babysitters are going to get fucked. I mean, that's just,
It's messed up.
I mean,
Well, don't babysit at Anthony's house.
this is the safest house to babysit at. I got news for you.
On that note, yes, I would do him.
All right. Frank, would you
What
bang
about,
Ben
Matt
He
Damon?
Affleck?
he can put long pumps in my
Your coffee.
yeah.
I just stopped you
And
from
he-
saying something way inappropriate.
You knew it.
What about Matt Damon?
No. Nah.
Anyway.
All right, Frank, who's better looking, Matt Damon or Ben Affleck?
I think they're both pretty close, but I'd say Affleck's probably a little better looking.
Let's see. But I feel like everybody respects Matt Damon more.
Because his
Yeah.
movies are better, for the most part.
Are they?
He also didn't marry someone famous, so
That's true, but yeah, no, I don't. And he didn't cheat on his wife. I don't think the whole thing. But Matt Damon, I mean, you look at Ben Affleck has like notoriously one of the worst movies ever.
Gigli? Are you gonna
Gigli?
fucking still hang him for
I'm
Gigli?
pulling out Gigli, the Gigli card.
Wow, I'm going. I cannot believe.
Jesus.
But there
I'm
are
leaving.
Ben Affleck movies I enjoy very much that a lot of people don't like. Like, did you ever see Surviving Christmas?
Oh, that's a great movie.
I love that movie. People don't like it, but him, James Gandolfini, Christina Applegate, it's a funny movie. I enjoy that one. But
Do you want to know something? It's so funny that you brought that up because I did not like that movie. And then we talked about this past Christmas. I ran out of movies, so I just started. Started watching anything.
It's a fun movie.
I put that on, and I was like, you know what? This is way better than I was giving it credit for.
Yeah, he gets on Gandolfini's nerves the whole time. It's great.
Him and Gandolfini are good together.
They were good.
Yeah,
I thought it was an underrated movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like Ben Affleck should be king of the world. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise status.
He's up there. He's
just
A-list.
not.
Sure he is.
You think so? I don't think he's respected as much.
I don't think he's on the. I think he's A-, but he's A. You got Brad Pitt and George Clooney. They're up there, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he's just a hair below them.
A smidgen.
Smidgen.
We didn't get to the Golden Globes. Most people didn't watch it though, so I don't feel so bad.
I didn't know they're happening until I went on Twitter and said, "Oh, look, the Golden Globes are happening."
On a fucking Tuesday? When did that happen?
I don't know.
When did the Golden Globes move to a Tuesday?
I don't know. Might as well be Tuesday morning.
I know. I think we're way past award shows at this point. You know what it is? We've got to bring back. It's the
Billy
lack
Crystal.
of host. I keep saying this.
Yeah, put Billy Crystal back on there.
We need Billy Crystal now more than ever.
He was the best.
We really, really do. They had Gerard Carmichael, everybody, and I liked him. I said I liked his last comedy special. He's not the energy for an award show.
Right.
Yeah.
I know he's a comedian, but that's all I know.
Yeah. It just breaks my heart. We need we need to get back to having fun at these award shows and people, I don't know. All right. That's it. Appreciate Jumpstart Coffee Company for sponsoring the episode. They're the best ever. Grab a fresh bag. Dark roast blend there for Frankie C. I'm on an espresso blend bag right now as we speak. Love it. Can't get through the show without it. They support the troops.
Stuff.
Support them. Thank you to them. Thank you to Frankie C, J Sams, all you guys in the live chat. We will catch you guys on the next episode, which is Friday. See what I did there?
Yeah, I like it. Very good. Creative.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.